Hello, my name is Steve Samuel from Design Visionaries, and today's talk is about coatings. First things first, I believe strongly that if you don't innovate, you go by the wayside. One of the ways that people are innovating is by embracing model-based definition. But today, I'm going to show you a way of representing coatings which is commensurate with the idea that when you're doing model-based definition, you have to have a digital twin. And the digital twin should be as perfect as possible. So what we have here, as you can see, is a little assembly, and the handle is what we're going to do the coating on. As you can see, this is a surface model with some curves here that represent regions that we want to coat. Now we have this navigator for coatings. Here we go, coatings. And as you can see, there's nothing in it just yet. And what I can do with the navigator is I can float it. I can float the tab. And I'm going to float it down here like this. I'm just going to push this out of the way. And I'm going to expand it for reasons that will become obvious in just a moment. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create these stacks of coating. There's going to be a stack for preparing it, cleaning it and preparing it. And there's going to be a stack for the painting of it. And when I paint it, I'm going to do some primer, and then I'm going to coat the whole thing. And then I'm just going to coat these little regions in here. When I prepare it, I'm going to wash it in water. I'm going to get rid of all the big kind of pieces that might be left from the machining process or whatever it is. And then I'm going to dip the whole thing in isopropyl alcohol. And those are the processes that I want to capture in my model. My model has to include all of that because this is a digital twin, and the whole idea of the digital twin is to capture like everything. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to insert a coating, and I'm going to insert a coating stack. And when I do this, I can name the stack anything I want. So this is going to be the preparation stack. And my note about it is going to be wash and dry and dip. Okay, so that is my stack. And as you can see, the preparation stack appears right here. And if I edit it, you can see that there's a note that's associated with it, etc. for the preparation stack. Awesome. So now I'm going to insert a region. So my region, when I wash this with water, I want all the faces. I want to dip it. So I'm going to say body faces. So here is the region, if you will, that I'm creating. I just click on it. And if you go to the part navigator, you can see that this is the region. And I'm going to actually rename that as the wash region. Okay, so now if I expand this a little bit, I can see what the name of that is. Great. Next, I want to apply water to the wash region. And so I'm going to insert a coating layer right here, coating layer. Now this layer is going to be called, first of all, I'm going to select the region. I'm going to call it water wash. I'm going to look in my physical properties list to see if I have, there it is, water wash. So I set this up in the preferences before this. It has no thickness and no color to it. So this is the water wash. And it says right here, there's a note because I got it out of my materials library that says thickness 0, distilled water from CVS. How about that? Okay, so we're even, and then the color is just white. So when I say okay, there we go. So now if I look in my navigator under my preparation stack, I'm doing a water wash. Okay, very simple. I'm going to do it one more time to apply the isopropyl alcohol. So now I need to make a different stack. So here's the coating stack, and I'm going to make one that's specifically for paint. So paint, and I'm going to say that this is all the paints are going to be powder coated, and say okay. So there's my paint stack, and I just like to see the different stacks in order in which I'm going to do them. So if I double click on here, then the whole thing switches around. That's nice. You can also see that as I've been doing this, the different notes and everything actually come into the navigator. Now, before I continue, I should show you that if I go to Tools and I go to More, I can go to Manage Materials, and within Manage Materials, I can make new materials. I got to go to Local Materials, not Library, Local Materials. And as you can see, there's a red paint, there's a primer, isopropyl alcohol, water wash, and there's a blue paint that I've pre-made to make sure I have everything that I need. Okay. And before I continue as well, I'm going to go into the coatings, coating preferences, and this is important. When I click on Output Non-Geometric Component, what that means is when I create these coatings, they're going to show up in the Assembly Navigator as non-geometric components, and that's really important for me to control my bill of materials. They need to show up on the bill of materials because they're actual things that need to be procured, managed, etc. So when you turn this off, it doesn't make a non-geometric component, and when you turn it on, the output is a non-geometric component. So I definitely want that on right now, because the very next thing I'm going to do is create a coating layer.